Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Lazy Coders. Today we'll learn about Python input and output in Python. For input value in Python, we have a input function, and for an output value in Python, we have a print function. Now let us discuss input and output in detail. The input function. The input function works in runtime. Suppose when you are running a program line by line, and when a input program comes in, the program will stop at input before running the bottom code. Okay, after the user puts the input uh, in the program, then only program will run. It works in runtime. In Python program, we use the input function to take any kind of data input from the user through the keyboard. With the help of input function, we can take any data from the user. Suppose if the data is 10, we can take it from the user. If it's a string, we can take it from the user. The input function waits for the user's input. As soon as the user enters the data and presses the enter key, the input function reads the data and assign it to the variable. Suppose we are entering an input value of our input, and when we enter a value, suppose 10, the user enters a value 10, the program will automatically add the 10 to the variable a. Now a will be equal to 10. That's how the input value is given to a variable. Now let us look at the syntax of how to take input from the user. The syntax is, first we have to write the variable name, then we will take input, and you can write any message over here. So suppose if you want to write something, enter your name, you can write that any message, and we'll close the bracket. Now when the user enters any value, the input it will be assigned to the variable name. Now one important topic, that input function always returns a string value. Look at the type of variable name. It will be as a string. By default, the input value takes every variable as a string. So if we want to take an input value as an integer, we have to do typecasting. We'll learn about typecasting later in future videos. We learned about the input function. Now let us look about the print function. Print function. It is used to display the output on the console. Suppose you have any variable a which is equal to 10, and we want to print the value of a in the console. So we can just write the print function and give it a value of a. Or if you want to directly print something in the console, we can directly do that. We can directly write print, and I'll write writing in console. I can directly print that value. It will be shown in the console. Now we'll discuss some functionality of print statement. First, we can directly print a value as print a string. We can print multiple values while giving commas. We can print a with how we can define how it is separating the every print value. We can give space, we can give slash. By default it is slash n, which means next line, and we can also give a separator which can separate the value. Suppose if it will be printed as a separated by b separated by c. Now we'll see this in our code.
Hi everyone. Now we'll see about input and output operations in Python. Let me create a file naming main.py. Now for the input operations, let us take an input. Let us take a variable a equal to input. I'll write a message. Enter your name. Now let me print the variable a. Now if I run the code, look over here. Now let me save the file before that. If I run the Python file, it's asking me an input. Suppose I'm gonna give my input as lazy coder. Enter. Look, lazy coder is printed over here. Now we can give an escape sequence such as /n. Then the input will be shown in the next lines. Suppose if I go, look, it's showing over the next line. I can write lazy coder over here and press enter. Look, lazy coder is printed on the console. Now, in the output operation, just now we saw the input and also we have seen the output operation. This will be the output operation. It will be output. This is a print function where we can print anything. Suppose if I want to print something, let's check the data type of a input function. Now, if I go and run the code, look, when I'll enter the name, after that it will run the next function, that is, let's check the data type of input function. So we know that as we learned before that input works in the runtime. So when we write our name, it holds the code until the user enters some input value. After that, we can carry on with with our code. Now let's check the type. To check the type of function, we can just write print print. I'll just write type of a. Now let's check what's the type of input. See, if I give you over here lazy coder, look, it's showing me a string data type. So that's all for input and output. Thank you. Now let's check some functionality of print statement. Functionality of print statement. Okay. First of all, we'll directly print a value. Suppose print a. I'll just comment this, and I can print multiple values like print a, comma, print b, comma, print c. Let's print this and let's check it out. Okay, look, over here a is printed. I'm printing multiple values as a, b, c. Okay. Now let's check another one. Print. Now I can define how a print statement ends. Suppose if I write over here first, okay, I can write over here second. Print. I'll save this. I'll just comment this. I'll save it again. I'll run the look. First is printed in the first line and second is printed in the second line. Now, if I write over here by giving a comma and with space. Now look, while I run the code, look, first is written in the first line, second is also written in the first line, but the things are separated with commas. With spaces. I can also give like I can give underscores. Now if I run the code, look over here underscores are printed. Okay. Now the last topic is what is separator. Suppose if I'm printing multiple values, suppose I'm printing a. After that I'll print b. So then I'm going to print C. I want to separate this not with spaces, but I want to separate this with something else. I'll just write set equal to. I want to separate this suppose with a question mark. I'll just give a question mark. I'll save the code. I'll run it. Over here, look. A question mark, B question mark, C. Now that's how separator works.
Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, share and comment.